Hello redesigners, it's Thursday and I'm CeCe from CeCeReStyled. I'm a brand ambassador for Redesign with Prima and we're gonna do some fun things today. So, again, I apologize for being late, but this time it wasn't my fault. It's never a dull moment here at Studio Day CeCe because we deal with some stuff. It's always fun around here, always fun. Anyway, so we got our technical difficulties worked out and here we are. So today, as promised, we're working on a jewelry box, a good old JB. Hi everybody, if you're hopping on, say hello, and if you want to let me know where you're tuning in from, that'd be awesome. I'm in Indianapolis, it's all swell and good here. But, oh gosh, I tell you what, one thing happens, and then the whole day kind of snowballs. Anyways, so today we're working on our good old JB. And if you read my description, I feel like jewelry boxes are the perfect kind of either starter project and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they are just as difficult as the actual furniture, big furniture itself, but it's a good space saver, so you have less excuses to make to the old man or the old woman about why you're taking up all their space. So there's that, but also, they're just like little dressers or chests, and they're, wood. You can do the same things to the jewelry boxes as you can to big old furniture. So that's why it's perfect to demonstrate on, and it's also perfect to practice on if you're trying to learn a technique like blending or you practice your stenciling or anything, products, techniques, whatever, new products that are new to you. So we're gonna jump right on in, and I'm not gonna show you my whole jewelry box yet. I'm gonna show you the side that we are embellishing today, okay? So that's the side that we're working on, which we're obviously gonna make some molds for. I mean, what did you expect? My middle name is Moulds. And then the top here, which I'm sure you've seen my skull and flower deals. I love skulls, okay? What can I say? Sue me. I could love worse, right? So, yes, we got some skull, flowery, kind of sugar skull inspo going up on the top there. So, obviously I have half my box painted because that way we can create our molds, wait for those to set up. We will, after those set up, we'll attach them, and then we can move on to the other parts that have already been painted. So, there's that. So let's go ahead and get out our molds, shall we? Which ones is she going to use? Which ones is she going to use? Well, my friends, I'm going to use all of them. Big surprise, right? So starting off with, I love these size flowers of these molds. There's lots of flower molds out there, yes. But the size flowers on Watercolor Floral from Prima, perfect size for jewelry boxes, perfect size for fitting in little small spaces where you have a little hole. Maybe you need to fill in a little space on your project. So Watercolor Floral. Yes, there's a transfer called Watercolor Floral as well, and the flowers, I believe, match the transfer. So, little tip for you. We'll put that little guy right there. Then we've got, of course, I love me some Finnebear molds. And we've got some. Now, when I show you the molds and we start making them, I want to see if anybody can guess what I'm going to do with them. What are the fates of these molds? Where am I going with this? Then we've got Mechanica, which is these gears, okay? Gears. Donna, I think that is a moth. Okay, I'm calling it a moth. It's probably a butterfly or maybe a bee or a fly. I don't know, but to me it's a moth because I said so. So we've got some Mechanica, these gears, right? Fancy. What else she got in her magic bag? Grungy frames, okay? So on the grungy frames, this is one of the new Finnebear molds. I think she just released it 3 weeks ago maybe. So on this one, I love it, love it, love it, but we're only using these little pieces. So unfortunately, you won't get to see the entire goodness of that mold, but trust me, it's goodness. And then, oh, Botanical Blossoms. What is she doing with flowers and gears and frames? What is she doing? Botanical Blossoms is the perfect little floral sprig, little twig of flowers. So we got that one going on there. And skull and bones I used on the top. Okay, so I used the skull. Already used that one. Then we've got machine parts. I've got some extra from the other side. So these are new release mold from Finnabair as well. So those came out with the skull and bones and the grungy frames. Rusty pipelines. Who's ready for rusty pipelines? Right? I am. So we're going to be using rusty pipelines, flowers, gears, and all the things. So rusty pipelines. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick rundown on how to pour your molds out of resin. If you need to see, if you're scared of resin, A, don't be. But B, some people don't like to start off with resin. I didn't start off with resin. I started off with air dry, the modeling material. Most people do. It's a little easier to digest, not literally digest, but you know, wrap your head around how it works, get a feel for the molds, and also it's less intimidating. So once you graduate from the air dry clay, you can either go to hot glue or you can skip the hot glue and go straight to resin. So resin is a two-part process. And let's see. I use Lumalite White, which is also called Amazing Casting Resin. If you get it in the craft store, it's called Amazing Casting Resin. If you get it by the gallons, it's called a Lumalite White on the Lumalite website. So I'm going to grab some gloves real quick. And once again, PPE always recommended. I wear gloves. I'm in a well-ventilated space that now has power back on. And protective eyewear, I would definitely say maybe that would help. I got epoxy in my eye the other day. It wasn't even while I was using it. It was way later in the day. I rubbed my eye and had some on my hand. So PPE, maybe I should just wear PPE 24/7 because I'm not the most graceful, so that's a thing. So we want a vessel to stir our resin in or mix our resin in. I like to use these silicone jobbies because guess what? Once it cures, you just peel it out. No cleaning necessary. I'm a huge advocate of not having to clean things that you don't have to, right? It's not lazy, it's efficient. Okay, so I also like to use these silicone stirry jobs. Okay, same reason, peel off. So most resins are a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, 1 part to 1 part. 1 part A, 1 part B equal most, but not all, but most. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with part A. Let's see, I think I can scoot you over here and you can see a little bit better. Or maybe I'll move that out of the way and you can see better. Huh, how's that? Okay, so, all right, there we go. Part A, we're gonna go ahead and do, when I'm using the quick setting resin, I don't pour more than 2 ounces at a time to mix up because before you get it poured, it will set up on you. You have about a 2-minute working time and then about a 10-minute demold. Unless you throw a fan on it, then you can get it to work a little faster. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and pour 2 ounces. I've got my digital scale here. You can measure by weight or volume. I like to do it by weight when it's this small of an amount. It's just more accurate. So I've got 2 ounces. I'm pouring slowly, so I hit the 2 as close as possible. 1.94. See how she can do. Boom, 2.01, I'll take it. Okay, so you can do the math and then pour in your part B to, 4, which is 1-to-1. Or you can just reset it because I feel more comfortable. And we learned that in science class, okay? We learned to just reset it and not add them and do the math. So I'm just being proper. I'm just a scientist. All right, so 2.01, as close to that as we can possibly get with our part B. Ah, yes, I'm so messy with this stuff. I can't believe the scale actually works. I shouldn't say that, it'll stop. 1.9, 2.05, I'll take it. 0.04 difference. That's not the worst I've ever had, so we're gonna go with it. So first, we're gonna pour our, let's see. We're gonna mix it really well first, actually. So I like these silicone beakers. from Amazon, because if you've ever poured epoxy into a mold, you'll know that it's very messy and it runs and drips, but these beakers have the little spout on them, and it makes them pour much more accurately. Okay, more accurately. I shouldn't say much more, but let's see. Stir it up really well. You want to make sure your resin's stirred very, very well, or you're going to end up with a gooey mess. Nobody wants a gooey mess. So we're going to go ahead and start with our teeny tiny, these little corner things here. I don't even know what they're called, like circuit boards or something. We're using those on the drawer faces, okay? So on the drawers, we got these circuit board thingies. We've got some little cogs, okay? I got gears, cogs, whatever you want to call them. And then you want to pour low and slow, okay? As low and slow as possible. If you over pour, that's okay, but try not. I always try to get a perfect mold, but rarely it happens. Sometimes, not all the time. Okay, low and slow. That way, if you're low, you get less bubbles. If you're slow, you get to fill up more little gaps, and you're more accurate, that kind of deal. So let's go ahead and, oh gosh. I'm just going to pour in this little flower here. So I want to do some rusty pipelines. I'm going to pour in, I'm not doing all of them. I'm going to do this little spigot here, because we like spigots where you turn the water off and on, you know. Then the pipes go here and there. It's going to be amazing. Just wait. You're going to love it, you guys. You're going to love it. Did anybody figure out what I'm doing with the rusty pipelines, the flowers, and the frames yet? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? I'm going to look and see, and if somebody nailed it, then you are the winner. You win. Big fat. Congratulations. Alright, so my watercolor floral, love these. I'm going to kind of pick up my pace here a little bit. Whoops, which means I'm going to get more sloppy. And then I just want a good variety of sizes of my cogs, okay? So I don't really have certain ones in particular I'm trying to fill in. I just want a variety of sizes, so we're just going to pour all willy-nilly until we get some filled in. It's starting to set up on me, so I need to hurry up is what that means. Once it starts to get real thick and not run so well, you need to hurry up. Alright, so boom. So now I take my whatever I was stirring with, or you can take a stir stick, paint stir stick, and if it's overflowed, or if it has overfloweth, you just want to scrape the back flat, okay? Scrape it flush. That one looks good. Scrape it flush to get that back flat. As flat as you can, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. If for whatever reason, when you're done, you still don't have a flat back when you're going to apply your molds, you can sand down the backs. You know, I'm just going to leave these because they're starting to set up, so, oh gosh. You can sand down the back, and that will take care of your concave or convex back, whatever you end up with. Okay, so boom, mold making 101. Mold making with quick setting resin 101. Easy peasy, right? We're going to let that set for about 10 minutes or a few minutes less than that on the fan. Okay, so while we were waiting for those to set up, I'm going to go ahead and show you the top of my box. The top of my box is, let's see. Oh, well, I mean, I did show you the top, but we're going to work on the top of the box. So guess what? Not only do I have these pretty skull and flowery molds and all that jazz up top, I also have, actually, you know what? I'm going to move y'all out into the little clippy clip above so you can see better. Okay, I'm going to move you in here. Ooh, that way you can see better. Hopefully it will not tell me error for rotating my screen or what have you. Sorry. If this is the least of my technical difficulties is having to switch jobbies here, I'm good. We already got our meltdown out of the way today, didn't we? With that power going out, huh? All right, but we're back in business. That's all that matters, right? Don't look backwards. Look forward, right? Am I right? Can I get some hearts if you're with me? All right, so let me see if there's any questions real quick. Hi, everyone. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate ya very much. All right, so let's go ahead and, I don't see any questions off the bat. Oh, Jackie, what are you making them out of? Are you making them out of resin? If so, what kind of resin? If not, what are you making it out of? Donna, covered in a type of contact paper. Prime and paint, you don't want to primer paint over the contact paper. Get you some Goo Gone, girl, let it soak, and then chip away at it with a scraper. Okay, heat gun optional, but scraper yes, Goo Gone yes, or similar type citrus remover. All right, so here we go. Here's our top. Here's what I didn't show ya. Okay, so check these bad boys out. Boom. These are rub-on transfers of the mini variety from Prima Marketing. Okay, and these are, I don't know the exact story with these, but I don't really care. I'm going to use them because they are not decor transfers, which are, you know, the typical big transfers we all use and love. They're also not on the regular, okay. They're in the limited edition or low stock category on the website for retailers. So if you have a retailer that you know and trust and love and, you know, have a good rapport with, say, give me some of these before they're gone. There's only a few left. Or you can go on Etsy and search Prima Watercolor Fantasy, okay, on Etsy. I don't know what you're going to get if you pull that up on Google, but Etsy, Watercolor Fantasy Prima, boom. So they're just little rub-on transfers of the JB size, okay, of the mini variety. We're just going to do some of the more colorful, you know, just pick and choose different ones. I like the purple, the oranges, the pinks, all that jazz. So I need my scissors and my transfer tool. They come with a little popsicle stick, but who wants to use a popsicle stick when you got a real Mama Jamma transfer tool? Or stick, or a broken one. Oh, there we go. Okay. Transfer tool, you can also use the little stick that comes with the regular size transfers. Anywho, let's bust these open. Grab scissors, obviously. So you can see here I've got my Scully, I've got his cogs and all his mechanical parts, flowers. It's a little heavy on this side, right? Why did she put all that on one side? It's too heavy. Well, I did that on purpose because guess what? I'm going to balance out this side with the flowers. See? Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. So I love symmetry, but asymmetry. Well, let's see. How do I want to say this? So mirror image type symmetry is not my. It's not always my thing. I like to balance out, create symmetry by creating visual balance, right? So that's what I'm doing. Mirror image is fine, but that's not what we're doing today. So I think I'm going to pull these purple and yellow, okay, for now. I'm going to start with the bigger flowers because if I start with the, sorry, I can't cut and talk at the same time. I have issues multitasking, people. All right. You want to lay your bigger flowers down first. That way you're getting the bulk of your cluster, your flower cluster. You're getting the bulk of it, you know, kind of set up, and then you can take the smaller flowers and piece those in where you want them, in between, you know, places where they need, empty holes, stuff like that. So bigger first, and then graduate your way down to the smaller flowers, and then fill in the details, okay? So I'm just cutting out all of these separately for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our biggest. I'm going to do this pink one here. Okay, he's our biggest. So like a regular transfer, we're just going to lay it down here. I don't love that pistol or whatever they're called, so I'm going to kind of turn it this way, manipulate that a little bit, probably cover it up with an old flower. Okay, so I got my transfer tool. You can use anything. You can use a spoon, a plastic knife, a credit card, popsicle stick, paint stir stick, whatever you've got that's rigid and, you know, good for burnishing. Burnishing is a fancy word for rubbing on, okay? So don't let them fool you guys. Burnishing just means to rub. These, apparently, you have to rub a little bit harder from what I'm gathering here. Let's see. Are they gonna stick? Are they gonna stick? They're sticking. Just gotta use a little muscle. But like I said, these are the perfect JB size. What I showed you a second ago, and I can show you again in a minute. Those are the only 3 designs of these watercolor fantasy ones there are. Oops, we lost the pistol, darn. I didn't want that anyways. So, let's see. Go ahead and throw these on like that. So these are the 3 there are. I don't know what the exact story with them are. I don't know where they... I don't know. It's a mystery. It's kind of cool though. I was on the Prima website one day and I just saw them and I was like, what? What are those? What are they holding out on me? And I asked, and apparently they're just, you know, some rub-on transfers. There's limited quantities, and they didn't advertise or really necessarily promote them, so I don't know. But so far so good, right? Like, color's good. It's got a nice white flood coat on the back so that it's opaque. It's not transparent. That's kind of one of the first things I look at when I'm getting ready to use a transfer on a dark color especially. So let's see, let's check this one. If we can get this one down, peel up. And I was really hoping to have time today to also get out our metallic paints and paint our details here. But it's pretty similar to what we did on our last live. I think that was our last live last Thursday. When I did the drawer faces like this with the skulls and the flowers. I know I'm so versatile. I have so much variety happening this week. Lots of skulls, lots of flowers. Who would have thought? But anyways, love my metallic paints. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, every time you get those out, I get envious because I like watching you go through the all the colors, or, you know, wrestle through all the colors. I do too. Whoever that was, I like it too. It's like a ball pit. You know, kids in their ball pits at like Chuck E. Cheese and that. They jump in and they're like, woo, balls. That's how I am with my metallic paints. I jump in that little bucket and I'm like, ah, all the sparkly paints. Let's do a yellow one, shall we? Let's go ahead and do a yellow, right? Oh, I don't want this to get too patterny looking. So I think what I'm gonna do is put it right, yeah, we'll put it right here. We'll make it not patterny with the smaller flowers. So I'm gonna rub this one on, and then we're gonna switch on over and check on our molds. No, I don't think it's been 10 minutes, but I have them on the fan, so that, you know, that magic fan. I don't know what I'd do without that. Get nothing done. Okay, and these, yes, you'll need to seal these just like other transfers. Water-based sealer, polyacrylic, clear wax. I like Paint Couture satin top coat is my fave, but they also have a flat, dead flat, and gloss sealer. So I'm going to continue to fill that in. I might come a little more heavy down the front like that, so it's not so, you know, bleh. But anyways, so those are the watercolor fantasy rub-on transfers from Prima Marketing. Okay, boom. So okay, are you guys ready for me to show you what are you guys ready for me to show you the what we're doing on the other side with the molds? I know you're all dying trying to figure out, what is she doing, what is she doing? Okay, I'm going to show you now before we demold the other ones. Show you those real quick. Buy us a couple more minutes to get our molds set up and all that jazz. So are you ready? Okay, so we're doing Rusty Pipeline with flowers coming out of it. Yes, it's only half painted because the bottom half is going to be Firelight, which is a bright orange from Paint Couture. Love it. I mean, teal and bright orange, it doesn't get a whole lot better. And yellow, look at my yellow lining, it's perfect. Perfect. Let me see, I had, dang it. Dang it. I ruined my own surprise. Stupid. Whatever. You can at least humor me. I don't add color to the quick setting resin. I color my resin with paint, but not quick setting resin. You don't want to do that. You'll get a foamy mess unless you are looking for a foamy, not a mess, but it foams up when you add color or paint to it, which worked out when I learned that lesson the hard way. It was a happy accident because I was making faux cupcake bottoms. So when I added the paint to the quick setting resin, it foamed up and it looked like a cupcake. But I didn't have to be that lucky. I just was. So it worked out for me, but I learned a lesson. Okay, so yes, rusty pipelines. See our rusty pipelines down here? And then I got the flowers shooting out into, you know, this innards of like a clock or something, like the inside workings of some sort of mechanical beast. I'll give you a little closer up view. The resin, you just cannot beat the detail on the resin, man, I'm telling you. Right? Am I right? Like modeling clay, any sort of air dry clay does not get that it doesn't keep that detail. It shrinks and cracks a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and demold. We'll go ahead and start the process putting our molds on, and then I'll probably peace out because you'll be able to figure out the rest. But let me plug in my heat gun. I do want to add, when I am attaching my molds, because I get a lot of people ask about this, attaching molds. What do I attach my molds with? That depends on the surface you're attaching to. Okay, I always strive to attach my molds to a sanded wood surface. So at least scuff sanded, which this is, I scuff sanded this with the sander. And if I have to, depending on what my design is calling for, sometimes I have to attach the molds to paint, to a painted surface. Or let's just be honest, if it's an afterthought and you're like, I want a mold there, you're gonna attach it to the paint. That's okay. But I use Gorilla Hot Glue to attach them to my wood, sanded wood surfaces, or primed, or Tight Bond Quick and Thick. If I'm attaching to a painted surface, I don't use the Gorilla Glue or any hot glue. But just a side note, I only use Gorilla Hot Glue because it's not your typical hot glue. It's the bomb hot glue. So Gorilla Hot Glue, no, they don't pay me to say that. I just love it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Tight Bond Quick and Thick is my other go-to. If I'm not in a hurry, I'll use that. Or if I'm working on paint, a painted surface, I use Tight Bond Quick and Thick. And clamps if you need clamps. Or tape. You can tape them up too. So there's that. So let's go ahead and grab our molds. Let's go ahead and start with the rusty pipes because that's what we'll need to build from the bottom up. So for our rusty pipes, and hopefully I got what I needed here. If not, oh, you can't see that. Here we go. Now you can see. All right, cool. Oh, and somebody was on the wall behind me. Oh, that is my faux brick staging wall. I have a tutorial on that on, might be on YouTube now, CeCeReStyled, my YouTube channel. I believe I put it on YouTube. I'm almost positive. If not, it's on my Facebook page somewhere, my business Facebook page somewhere. Let's see. I need, can you even see those amongst all this mess here? Here, let me get it. I got you. I got this. That way you can see better. Maybe. I don't know. White on white. Anyways, there's our rusty pipe. Well, it's not rusty yet, but it will be, right? These are so cool because you can paint them shiny metal. You can paint them rusty metal, corroded, you know, like whatever. So cool. I was trying to figure out a way that I could do like a pastel pink, pastel colored kind of steampunk kind of theme, but it was not coming together in my mind, as you can imagine. So check this out. How long ago did we pour these molds? About, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago. So with the amazing casting, and this is the only quick setting resin I use because I've used others and they're too brittle. They fall apart, especially with intricate molds, and they also don't stay as flexible. the ones I've tried for as long. So if I pull this out soon after it turns white, which means it's cured, it is very conform. You can conform that to a surface, like a curve, over an edge if you wanted to, like, you know, if you needed to spill over this side for about, I don't know, until it cools down. So depending on your atmosphere, I don't know, I'd say 10 or 15 minutes, it starts to harden up to where it will become completely rigid when it's completely cured. But for now, after it's turned white, it is conformable. So if you are doing any sort of curved surface, that now is when you want to attach your molds, because they will cure all the way and they will be rigid and hard and not so conformable at that point. Okay, so I'm cleaning up the edges with my little sharp knife here. Sometimes I use my fingernail, but what do they say? Nails, your fingernails are jewels, not tools. Bah! Try me. My fingernails are tools. Right? Am I right? Can I get an amen? All right, so there is our spigot. Okay, our little spigot. And what we're gonna do is set that right here. And basically I'm gonna start from the bottom up, and I'm gonna build up from my spigot up to where the flowers shoot out, lay the gears. It helps to lay them all out, obviously, before you secure them with the glue. Before you commit to location, make sure you know where you're gonna put them. All right, so there is, oh, can you see? There we go. So I want it kind of somewhere near the bottom, so I'll just go ahead and set it there. Then we need to have, like, maybe we do that on the edge. And then we need to have a, shoot, do we want an elbow piece that goes directly shooting up, or do we want to take a pipe piece and shoot it over a little bit? Let's see what it looks like with our elbow piece just shooting straight up. These are also really easy to cut while they're you know, right, fresh out of the mold. So sometimes if you have to adjust, like I'm going to shave off just a little teeny 1/16 of an inch or so off this guy. That way it sits flush against this elbow piece. I don't know what it's really called. It looks like elbow macaroni, so that's why I call it the elbow piece. And then of course we got have this little Mario brother kind of guy. You know those pots in Mario Brothers where they jump out of or jump into? This is my little Mario brother guy. Boom. Okay, so that will go there, but you know what? I think I want to shoot up a little bit of pipe, so I'm gonna go ahead and alter this pipe. I'm just gonna cut it. It's soft, so I can do that. I can use my scissors, I can use my sharp knife, but in that case, I'm gonna actually move this over a tad. That way I can use the other part of the pipe right here. So waste not, want not, right? Resin ain't free. Can I get an amen on that? Just cut it right in half there. Boom. And oh gosh, Marcelle's gonna get mad at me if I don't have on my little finger condoms for this. Shoot, I gotta grab them, dang it. I meant to tell her to remind me to grab my, they're little silicone finger protectors, because she probably got tired of watching me burn myself, or somebody's gotten tired of watching me burn myself at some point. So Marcelle sent me some finger protectors, little silicone guys. I don't think I want that pipe quite that long, so we're gonna cut it down a little bit. The reason why I'm so attached to this piece of pipe though, is because it's got threads. Can you see the threads on it? Wait, there you go. It's threaded, so realistic, right? I love it. I love it. All right, let's do, trying to get it flush here. Well, that wasn't flush. Let's see, and then let's just, oh man, that elbow guy is not really making sense. Okay, let's move this back over, replace our elbow. Then then let's see if we can put this in between. Ugh, you know what? I have some from last night that will probably start to make all this make sense. Maybe I don't want that there. I don't know, people. I was gonna try to do something fun and funky with you guys since you know it's all fresh. We can do whatever we want. But at this point, maybe we just stick with our good old spigot. Is this the same? That's the same. Well, oh, here's this. Wait, no, that's the same. Gosh, I got a lot of spigots. Oh wait, no, this is different. This one's different. This one is different. Ooh, okay, let's add a little pipe. No, dang it. Sorry. Yes, I should have had this figured out, but you know what? Part of the fun of this is the process, so bear with me. Oh, I just had an idea. So, I'm gonna lay these out where they're gonna go. I'm not even gonna need my silicone jobbies till after the video is over, because I just wanna lay these out as much as I can before it gets to be dinner time, and then I'll glue them on after. Okay, so let's do this. We've got those spouts, spigots, whatever you want to call them. Then we got our elbow. Where's our elbow? Elbow, where are you? Put our elbow there. Let's put a little bit of a pipe there. Who knows? Maybe it's spewing rainbows or something. Then we got this one here. That? Is that dumb? If that's dumb, you can just tell me. Is that dumb? All right, we're gonna go with this for now, okay? So we can move on. Actually, you know what? Why don't I turn it? Let me do you a solid real quick. You're probably like, what is she thinking? We can't see that. Let me turn it around for you. Give you the money shot. Boom. Almost. Boom, there we go. Okay, so next we've got our gears, which I happen to already have some made, so we don't even have to demold those quite yet, unless we need some fillers. Look how big this one is. Boom, that's a big old mold. Okay, so we've got some little guys here that we will clean up in a minute. And basically, what I want to show you with these gears, or cogs, whatever you prefer, I'm laying down a base. Okay, so I'm not committing to a location for these yet. I'm laying down a base for my sprig of flowers, or my little, what's it called? My little twig, branch, whatever you call it, with flowers. So if I stick those on these and they're not supporting underneath, you know what I'm saying? If they're not supporting my flowers and those molds are just kind of hanging out there, they have a better chance of popping off, or you know, they're harder to paint behind and all that stuff. So this is no good. No good. No good at all. You want to make sure that you build up a little bit of a base for your flowers. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I mean real quick. Okay, so these are our flowers. What was this one called? This one was called something. Botanical Blossoms. Okay. So Botanical Blossoms, one of my favorite flower molds, just because it's so useful in so many spaces, areas, sizes, whatever. Versatile. I love me some versatility. So it's a little tall, right? Let's have him coming out of this guy. No, this guy. Yeah, this guy. It's a little tall, right? I mean, we could snake it around, because guess what? It's fresh out of the mold, so we could snake it around if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that. We are going to cut this right here, so you can cut them really easily fresh out of the mold. I mean, it's a win-win situation. That way it sits flush with our pipe, and it looks like it's actually coming out of there. We're going to kind of curve it around this way, and then I am going to cut off this top little twig here. It's a little little bud. Don't get sad. I'm not throwing it away. We're going to use it. I'm going to end up putting it over here for some balance, to balance out this side, at least for now, I think, right here. And then I've got some more little flowers here from that same mold that I'm just going to cut off that little unwanted piece, no biggie. And actually, let's do this. See that? Boom. See how we got that balance, that visual weight all balanced out? And now we can just, you know, kind of piece these in where we want to support our little flower branch here. See how that's just kind of hanging off there? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that profile, but we're just gonna scoot that right underneath there. That little guy, he's gonna support that other guy. Hey guy, you can do this, you got this. Very supportive, very supportive. And a couple more of these bad boys wherever I want. I'm thinking though, I may put this guy up on a little gear so he's got some dimension, okay? So basically I'm gonna continue placing these. I don't want them to look too patterned, and I wanna use different sizes. That's the key, okay? The different sizes, don't think about it too much, because then it looks like you did it on purpose, and it's supposed to look like you didn't spend any time on it at all. It just happened, right? With your hair, with your makeup, all that stuff. With your molds, whatever. So I'm going to continue to do that after we hop off here. But I do want to show you these pretty watercolor floral molds real quick. So these are perfect to do while they're soft too, because I'm going to fill in the blanks, and that may be overlapping. I like to overlap my molds. It creates interest and depth, and it's a perfect time to do that while they are nice and pliable. All right, so these just need to be trimmed, glued, bam. I'm just going to put those sporadically throughout my little scene here, okay? And there you have it. You've got rusty pipelines growing flowers in a mechanical thing, and a skull. That's my theme. Anyway, so I'm going to, I'm gonna look for a couple questions real quick, because I saw some, and then I want to see if I know somebody asked some that I tried to answer, and then I needed an answer from them to answer. So let me, dang it, I ruined my own surprise. I'm still mad about that. Well, next time I'm gonna get a little curtain, and I'm gonna be like, behind curtain number 1, you can't see. Okay, well, I thought, do you have to spray the molds before pouring resin? Absolutely not. They are silicone, food grade. You can put chocolate in them. You can put them in the oven. You can put them in the dishwasher. You can put them in the microwave. You can put fondant in them. I mean, they're just a wide variety of uses, and they peel out literally. I mean, you saw how I did that, right? They just peel out. If you wanted to spray them, you would be wasting your time, and you would have just a mess to clean up. Let's see. Yeah. Plaster of Paris is not good for, so plaster of Paris is not good for these little type intricate molds for, this size. I use plaster of Paris for big molds, okay, like concrete molds, architectural type molds, like big guys, okay? These little type molds, you don't want to use plaster of Paris. It's not going to be the most ideal. It's brittle. You can't get the detail in the little fine details. They just break, as you figured out, I'm sure. And the air dry clay, yeah, it's good for the more simple design molds. It's not so good for the intricate molds. There's some that would be absolutely impossible to do with air dry clay. So get you some resin. Okay, well, I don't see any other questions off the bat. So anyways, I will, I'll check the replay, see if there's any more questions, but thank you all for the kind words. I appreciate it. And I'm going to hop off here. I'll see you next Thursday at noon right here in the Redesign with Prima Facebook group. And yeah, bye.